Yeah.
All right. So today on this channel, I have Shayonika Roy. So the name, if you pronounce it, it is Sayonika, but a typical Bengali name will always be pronounced differently from what it appears from the spelling. So it's not Sayonika, it's Shayonika. What brings her on the show is that this non-assuming personality, as you would be seeing, is CA All India Rank 4, and in 40 days she prepared for the CAT and gained admission in IIM Ahmedabad as well as IIM Bangalore. So welcome to the show, Shayonika.
Thanks, Anurag. Thank you for this opportunity.
So it's been quite, so when I saw online that your achievements were this, I thought, yes, I need to bring you on the show, and you were kind enough to consent to come here. So we'll straight away head into the questions. So you are a Probashi Bengali in some way, born to Bengali parents but grew up in Ahmedabad. So
Right.
you are more of a Guju than an Bengali.
Right. So this is actually one of the questions which was asked in my interviews at IIM Lucknow. And I had to explain to them that I'm almost 70% Gujarati and 30% Bengali. And I actually had to give reasons for it.
All right. So how did this daughter of an ISRO scientist, your mom is an ISRO scientist. Of course,
Right.
your father's career choice is more in alignment because he's a cost accountant and SAP consultant.
Right.
So how did you land up in the CA world, not wanting to be an ISRO scientist like your mom?
Right. So basically, this was another question which was posed to me in IIM Ahmedabad in the interview itself. And I had to explain to them that actually my mother is the odd person out in the family because we have very less engineers and most of the people on my patriarchal side are into commerce. So when I was in the 10th standard, right after I had written my exams for the 10th board, my father told me that you should research about the various career options and the streams available and choose one. We can discuss it, but you choose one in which you would be happy. So there was no restrictions placed upon me to go into a particular line. And because I think there was more dominance of genes on the patriarchy side, and that is why I think commerce was a more fascinating option for me.
Right. And then in the CA world, I think you had all ticks in the box. Articleship from Deloitte, All India rank
Right.
19 in IPCC, and All India rank 4 in CA final. I mean, that's huge. And I can still
Right.
relate to my student days. We would be really struggling with that massive syllabus of CA along with articleship. So, what is your mantra for success in the CA world, which led to all
So,
of these achievements?
right. So basically, I had a very simple thing that I attended all my classes regularly and I followed it throughout IPCC and as much as I could in the finals because I had an articleship in the Big Four. So sometimes, maybe because of time constraints, I could not be able to attend, I wouldn't be in a position to attend the lectures. So I made it a point to take the notes regularly and as far as possible, just revise the topics which were taught in the classes on a daily basis. If I wasn't in a position to do that, then I would mark those topics for future references. Also, I used to give all the tests regularly. I mainly followed the institute's material, which is the modules that the institute releases, and all the mock test papers and the RTPs. Apart from that, I think so. ISCA is I gave my exam in the old course, and ISCA is one of the subjects which is like really dreaded by the students. I actually failed once in my tuition test because I did not take it very seriously. And post that, I made changes to my schedule. And after that, I got the highest marks in second group in ISCA. Plus, I also got the highest marks in India in financial reporting. So I had a very planned structure in terms of which books would I refer, for how many days would I be covering a subject, and how many revisions I wanted to give. I gave 3 revisions before I went for the exam. And I also, after giving every test, I analyzed where I was falling short of my target. So I always kept a target for each of my exams, and I analyzed where was I falling short and what could I do to achieve the highest possible marks in each subject. I know it isn't possible, but I always try to keep the highest target possible so that I could achieve it.
So, in terms of some specifics, which teachers did you opt for, like local Ahmedabad based teachers or the pan India ones?
So there is a tuition classes, JK Shah classes.
Yeah.
So I preferred that because I had continued my entire CA journey. I started from CPT from the same lectures. So because I had the same level of comfort with the teachers, I thought I would continue with that well into the finals as well.
All right. And test series also, your coaching center only allows you to offer this test series?
Yes. There's one by ICAI also, the MTPs that it releases, but I couldn't appear for it. But I scanned through the papers before going for the exam.
All right. Now the more interesting part. You cleared CA final in August 2019. And then post that, you started preparing for the CAT after your articleship got over, finally sealed, signed and delivered. At form 108, right? When
108, right.
108 was done, you had some family functions as you told, and then 40 days and you cracked the CAT. And how did this happen? So was 2019 your first attempt of CAT? And how did you do all this? Yeah, please take us through that detailed manner.
So 2019 was my very first attempt of CAT, and basically I had always thought that even if I didn't perform well, I would at least make it a point to have a good start, like get a high percentile. So the next time that I go and give it, I would be in a position to say achieve more. But what happened was I tried to focus my efforts into very limited things. So I appeared for the time test series in CAT. I had also paid the fees for the lectures, but I could hardly attend any lectures. I attended the time test series. I chose the Arun Sharma book series for all the 3 sections. Specifically, if I go section wise for VARC, I actually did not practice anything because I always had a habit of reading. So I knew that I would be able to give a shot to all the questions at least, and I wouldn't be leaving out on any question. I just started reading newspapers more thoroughly and in a time-bound manner. For DILR, because I had just completed my CA exam, so I thought I was a little more comfortable with data interpretation. So I started focusing on logical reasoning and started covering different types of questions in that. I tried to cover as many questions as possible in logical reasoning. For quant section, quant is basically a revision of what you had done. The syllabus is very similar to what you have done in your 10th and 12th standard with some few additional topics. So I focus more on brushing up the concepts and revising the formula. For quant, I think I had done LOD1 and LOD2, these 2 sections of Arun Sharma. On an average, I had attempted around 25 full course mock tests for cracking CAT. So this was basically
mock CAT, like how was your performance ranging from percentile?
So my lowest percentile was actually 75 percentile, and that happened after I had appeared for 5 to 6 mock tests. So at that point of time, I was really wondering whether I could have a good shot at this CAT. And my highest had also gone up to 99 percentile, but that was, so I ranged somewhere around 97 to 99 percentile towards the end.
And did you have a group, set of people whom you were in touch during these 40 days, or was it like a solo thing?
It was actually a solo thing. I know a lot of seniors who had cracked CAT. So I took tips from them right at the very beginning, but there was no person with whom I could discuss if I had doubts in any part or if I wanted more clarity. So on that part, I did not take any help because I really did not have the time.
So these 40 days were like you were all into CAT, like from the very morning till late night?
Actually, no, because once you have done your CA, you know the rigor, the amount of efforts that you put into a course like CA exam. And then when I shifted on to CAT, firstly, because I had just undergone that level of stress, I was like, I'll pay a little less attention to it because I cannot take the same amount of stress. I had already lost a lot of weight. So then I planned of keeping around 6 to 8 hours daily for CAT preparation. And I thought I sailed pretty smoothly through it. So if you hear CA rankers, we always say you need to put in say around 12 or 14 hours a day. I don't think that was the level of effort that I put into CAT.
Okay, and then on the final day, tell us through that 3 hours.
Right. So basically on the final day, I had decided that I would just be revising the quant formula, but I did not even end up doing that. I had the afternoon slot. So I had some time in the morning, But the day prior to the day of CAT, I finished with all the formulas and I wrapped it up. On the morning when I woke up, I did absolutely nothing. I was just listening to songs and chilling out. Those 3 hours, so basically the difference between CAT and CA exams, which I felt was that at least you have some time to recover if your paper goes bad. In CAT, it is there are actually 3 exams of 1 hour each. So if one of your section does not go well, you do not have any recovery time to go on to the next section and carry any of those elements of the previous section. So in our case, the VARC, which is the first section, English, it was very tough. So I think a lot of us were flustered just because of that. But I made it a point not to carry it forward and gave DILR and Quant, which was comparatively the sections which I had focused on during these 40 days. So I think the most important part behind me scoring a high percentile was that I did not carry forward the effects of VARC towards the next 2 sections. For DILR, I had kept a target of completing at least 6 sets, but I fell short and I could complete only 4 sets. That was because of the mismanagement in time. And for Quant also, I fell a little short of the target that I had kept because I attempted the non-MCQ questions when I had the target of attempting the MCQ questions first. The non-negative marks question when I had the target of attempting the negative marks questions first.
You pretty much acted like a normal human being. You had your own share of mistakes in those 3 hours
Right.
also. Right.
Right. It is very normal. Right.
Cracking the CAT means something you need a superhuman kind of an effort and everything has to be flawless. It's not like that, I read.
It is not like that. And basically, CAT is actually a percent of the total composite score that is taken for you getting a call. There are other things also which create an impact. So your 10th marks, 12th marks, your work experience, all of this have an impact on your getting a call from the IIMs or any other B school which you apply to. I know about IIMs because I applied there. So if you see the Holy Trinity, ABC, they consider your 10th marks, 12th marks, work experience, your professional diversity, your gender diversity, all those things are there along with the CAT score.
What was your CAT score?
It was 97.37.
Okay.
Percentile.
And 10, 12?
10th I had 10 CGPA, 12th I had 97%. Graduation
So you lost
I had
3%.
I did. So that is also another story.
And graduation?
But graduation I had 82%. And basically I had professional diversity because I was a CA. So that was also considered.
So CA, how is that factored in, just for the benefit of the viewers, that how does each of these IIMs give weightage to your being gender diverse, professional diverse? So this is application rating score.
It is a composite score which is given. So if I talk about IIM Ahmedabad, so they actually bifurcate you into different groups basis the professional degree or the education background.
So they create buckets. Yes. They create buckets.
Right. And then inside the buckets, you are given composite score basis your history, your 10th standard, 12th standard, and those things. And in IIM Bangalore, the thing that I noticed was that irrespective of your history, so if you are in the top 10 of the CAT or top 10 CA, CS, CMA or top 10 of the bachelor's degree, they'll call you.
Oh.
So because I had like really high marks in CA because of AIR 4 and AIR 19, and my educational background was also good, so I got a call from ANB basis this criterion.
And IMC?
So I did not get a call from C. I got a call from LIK and Udaipur and Shillong. I only applied to 8 IIMs and I got a call from 7 out of those 8.
Wow, that is just amazing. And after the CAT, you joined a job, Deloitte full-time, is it?
Right. So I had an offer, and because of these things, I told I'll join them later on. So my CAT ended on 24th of November, and 25th of November, I joined Deloitte as a full-time employee.
And then when the results came out, Jan, I suppose, the CAT results?
January, right.
Then did you take like proper classes for the PI part or the VAT part, which is
Yes.
the writing aptitude test and all?
Yes, because I had very few limited experience in interviews, right, like the ones which I'd appeared for in articleship or so. So that is why I thought it would be better if I go and interact with a peer group, because then I would be able to know how other people are performing and how I need to perform, or should I be able to perform better. So for that, I joined the Time GDPI series, and I had a few mocks. So I had around 5 to 6 mock interviews. I appeared for just one mock AWT, and I prepared very little about the interview preparation part, which was like limited to knowing about yourself, your own work experience, or your state. So yes, that was the preparation on my part was limited, but I focus more on the practical orientation part in terms of appearing for mocks.
So were you generally well read, like in terms of did you read the pink papers even during your CA days?
So basically, I had to brush up on my current affairs because during CA, I had reduced watching news to a large extent. And then post CA, I resumed it, but then I had missed out on that period. So I had to put in a little more efforts in terms of current affairs and knowing about the state and the culture where I belong to. So I went into a lot of depth for those things.
So take us through your interview at IMA and IMB, the
Right.
key journey parts there.
So basically in IMA, because I think because I had the experience of just writing the CA exams, I finished my AWT in almost half of the time. And that was noticed by my interviewers. So my IMA had a lot of different topics. I was asked about who invented Rasgulla, because I said that I like watching MasterChef and I am a Bengali. I was also asked about the application of accounting concepts in economics, the practical application of economics concept about the budget. I was asked about the history of Ahmedabad, then the culture that Gujaratis follow. I was asked about the question about why did I take up commerce when my mother was a scientist. And then I was also asked about my AWT topic. So it was around a 25-minute interview.
And what
And
was your AWT topic?
so it was about the Statue of Unity. There were two people discussing about what were the benefits and what could have been done otherwise with the resources which were invested in the Statue of Unity. So we had to take a stand on who is right and present our views. So it was around a 25 minutes long interview. My Bangalore interview was pretty short. It was around 10 minutes, and it revolved more about what I had done in my practical experience, in my work experience, about my hobbies, my extracurriculars, and it also was about the generics of the CA curriculum. So basically, if I could practice abroad, if I was a CA, the MOUs which the institute had entered into, all those things.
And the others, like I am Indore, I am Lucknow.
I am Indore, so basically I had it in two parts. So by the time we had our Indore and Lucknow interviews, it was already an online session because of the COVID thing. So in the Indore interviews, I was asked about accounts and costing. So there were many concepts of accounting and costing which we discussed, and then I was actually asked about literature, about Spanish flu. So the first half was very much into my domain, but the second half is something which I had never heard of those things. So I was actually asked what are the romantic languages, and I knew nothing about it. I actually thought for a moment it was Bengali because I am a Bengali, so maybe the interviewer asked me that, but I didn't take a wild guess at it.
And I am Lucknow.
So my I am Lucknow interview was very short, and I was basically asked about how much Gujarati or Bengali I am, about the states I belong to, and it was very generic. So they asked a few things about my work experience and what I do and where I'm working currently, and that was it. So it was very short.
And then you recently got an admit from both I am Ahmedabad and I am Bangalore.
Right.
So
Right.
then what are you opting for? I'm curious.
Yeah, so basically, since I was in the 11th standard, and because I live in I live in
Vastrapur.
Ahmedabad, and
You live in Vastrapur?
I live in Ahmedabad. No, I live in satellite area, but Vastrapur is like very near to my place. So we frequently travel, and I always told my father to take the IIM road, And whenever I could, I used to be glued to my to the window of my car, so that I could, just catch a glimpse of the parking lot in IIM Ahmedabad, and see if I could see any students around or something of that sort. And always used to imagine that how would it be if I joined A. So I think IIM Ahmedabad is a more lucrative option for me. And I've always been fascinated by the red brick. So I think I'm going to go with IIM Ahmedabad.
Oh, good, good. So actually, as an alum, one always has this curiosity that what does the
Right,
youngster
I
now
know.
choose? And then, what are your future plans after IMA? You want to be a management consultant, an investment banker. You want to take it as
Well,
it comes.
yeah, actually, I'm still researching the options. So I don't want to take any decision in haste. And I'm still looking at what are the various options available to a CA and an MBA grad. So let's see, I'm more inclined towards management consulting and either IB or PE. So let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be abundant opportunities on campus for that. So,
Right.
as we head towards the end, what is your fitness mantra, your mantra for unwinding? So, because you've lived a life where you really exerted yourself a lot, and starting July,
Right.
term one of PGP is going to be all the more challenging, and that's
Hectic, yes.
one term that you'll remember for a lifetime. So, what is your mantra for unwinding and fitness?
So basically, I try and keep 1 hour or 45 minutes daily where I take a walk and listen to music. So it is that time when I really want nobody disturbing me. And we have a big society, so I usually walk around in the society only. I am not a gym freak, so I don't do. I have never attended the gym. But I think, and I also do dance fitness regimes. I've just started it during this lockdown. So I think those are the things which I would like to continue if I get the opportunity in PGP1 and PGP2.
So, your words of advice to viewers on this channel, the ones who are pursuing CA, who've already become CA, should they go now? Should they go after some work? So, what did your research tell you?
So basically, I have a lot of CA friends who went into IIM's post-work experience or say even as freshers. So I did not see a lot of difference because as a CA, we have already got the practical exposure because we have to undergo articleship training. And I did it from a big four, so I already know how the corporate works to a very large extent. Plus the fact that if I had gained work experience say for around 1 or 2 years before going into IIMs, I would just have slightly more responsibility, because in the big fours we are taught even as articles to be responsible for our deliverables. So according to me, I thought it was better that I go into an MBA right now and not delay the decision, because I wanted to get an exposure into what are the different ways of thinking, what are the different perspectives which makes a business successful. So I really wanted to understand that, and that is why I think I went with the option right now. But for the newer generation CAs, I think they should make a they should make a SWOT analysis basis their experience till now, and whether they feel that it would be more relevant if they join after getting a little work experience. So I think it is a very personal decision which each student should analyze.
And ideally, like you cracked it in 40 days, what should be the ideal preparation tenor? Because see, 40 days is
Right,
abnormal. You generally
right,
don't
I
land up
know.
in IMAB after 40 days of preparation. But normally,
Right.
when should one plan to take the CAT? How long should one study for?
So basically, from what I've talked from my discussions with my seniors, I think on an average, every one of them who scored a 99 plus percentile had studied for around 6 months and appeared for around 25 to 30 mock tests. So I appeared for almost the same number of mock tests, but in a very short period of time, which might not be very recommendable. And I think around 6 months should be fair enough. And if you say if you're leaving your job, there are a lot of people who do that, who resign from their job before appearing for the CAT. So I think in that case, 3 to 4 months is more than enough.
All right. And some general tips on life to youngsters. In fact, you are also a youngster, but
Yeah. Okay, so basically, there's this mantra which I followed, which my father had taught me. So it's like, in case you're facing any adverse situation at any point of time, use the zyada se zyada approach. So what is that exactly? It's basically कि zyada se zyada क्या खराब होने वाला है. If you estimate that, you would be on a better off position because you know, fine, you're going to lose this. You won't have the same level of stress that you used to have. So this is exactly what happened in my VRC also. Like I told you, it was like it was very shocking for me also. So then I thought in the exam hall that ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा you'll have to appear for CAT the next time as well. So it's okay, just let it be. So I think that is the thing which I want to follow throughout my life.
Amazing. That's a good thing. So you do like a stop loss कि इससे ज़्यादा क्या खराब
Yeah,
होगा, and I'm okay
इससे
with
ज़्यादा
this
नहीं
kind of.
होगा, right?
Oh,
Right.
great words
Even
of.
for my interviews, even for my interviews, because like I had I chose the Ahmedabad Center for IMA. So that happened around 15-20 days after the results. So I had very less time for preparation. So I was like, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ये नहीं हुआ तो कोई और IIM हो जाएगा. So it was that sort of view. I know, like I was hoping and praying that I get into IIMA because it was like my dream to get there. But if you have to imagine, you imagine it that way.
Yeah, good. I think that's a very good line of advice. Thank you so much, Shayonika, for coming on this show and
Thank you,
sharing your
Anurag.
thoughts. It's wonderful
Thank you.
listening to such
Thank you so much.
enthusiasm. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Bye.